Next up is a very well-known Pennies from Heaven, and here we go. Pennies from Heaven. Oh, yes, she is.
Rod Stewart is among the most brilliant stars in the pop and rock music genres. Heaven. $300 is the approximate net worth. Million, which reflects his exceptional career with more than 250 million records sold globally, but this fame and fortune are commensurate with the complexity and Rod's personal life scandals. Stewart's path has been filled with. He has experienced several highs and lows, including the demands of his profession and notoriety, but moreover, the complex problems in his private life, from a turbulent romantic connections to serious health issues, like his operation for thyroid cancer in 2000. Every stage of his life is a reflection of fragile equilibrium between fame and argues that Rod Stewart is not just a famous musician with hits like Maggie May and Ya Find Me Attractive, but I'm also a living example of tenacity through personal scandals to health procedures. He has consistently risen strong, kept producing and confirming his place in the world of music industry. The achievements and challenges he has persisted and molded Rod Stewart. She is brilliant on stage as well as complicated in his private life, resulting in an unforgettable legend. Health problems in the world was taken aback in May 2000 by the announcement that the renowned British rock Rod Stewart, a musician, was diagnosed. This revelation regarding thyroid cancer sent the song is filled with shock waves industry and had a significant impact on his devoted following, renowned for his unique active state presence and a hoarse voice. Stewart unexpectedly encountered a major health challenge that endangered not just his life as well as his renowned vocals career. The singer learned about his state throughout a tumor scan using the illness that is yet treatable and in its early phases of the diagnosing process. The operation to remove the growth from his throat become a serious issue for both the medical staff as well as Stewart's attitude with confidence in the great success pace of Rod Stewart's vital surgery. Was lucky enough to avoid the clutches of death. He moved quickly after his surgery to remove the diagnosis. The thyroid malignancy inside the same month. The thyroid gland is necessary for hormone regulation of metabolism. Production was now a major worry, but the dangers were more larger because of the possible danger that his vocal cords could be damaged by surgery, which had been harmed earlier by a benign tumor. Hence this operation was a dual-edged weapon required for his survival, but nearly harmful to his. The core of his musical is his singing voice. Legacy. Stewart was diagnosed with cancer by chance while doing a standard tumor examination. Thankfully, the early detection offered giving him the chance to receive prompt medical attention. Even yet, the journey to recovery continued. Rod Stewart was afraid that by challenging him, he would never sing again and completely lose his voice once more, but his bravery in confronting the disease that enabled him to get over the illness. The week following surgery was tense with Stewart was apprehensive and uncertain about the enormous difficulty in relearning how to sing a song about an emotional journey. Addressing physical obstacles by use of vocal therapy and rigorous rehabilitation, he put forth endless effort to restore the strength and voice quality. Stewart was 9 months without being able to sing, and even. However, his voice was impacted after that. His characteristic raspy voice was gone. He welcomed his warmer voice tone. On September 20th. Rod Stewart sang his smash song, in 2015. Prefer not to discuss it on stage. Evidence of his recuperation and steadfast. Rod Stewart's struggle with tenacity. His transformation from thyroid cancer deepened. His compassion and inspiring him to participate in philanthropic endeavors. He became a ardent advocate for the City of Hope. Fundraising for cancer by a foundation. Research, particularly in the area of illnesses. Having an impact on kids. Stewart felt lucky for his cancer's early discovery during a haphazard tumor examination and encouraged everyone should get routine health early disease detection screenings. He also raised money by selling a lot of memorabilia. Those that suffer from ailments. Journey through diagnosis, therapy, and his life and career were changed by recovery. Demonstrating his tenacity and commitment to music as well as to the battle to combat cancer. Children's concerns grew regarding his well-being and hoped that he cut down on his tour obligations to put their family and health first. Wished for a calm retirement alongside him. Extending his family time. Particular to his third grandchild. In 2019, Stewart shared his grandchild's triumph over prostate cancer following a 3-year conflict that lasted over 20 years. Fight others after his thyroid cancer. Health issues like playing soccer. Traumas resulting in knee and ankle. He was still being tested by procedures despite. Stewart continued to be committed to music. With his admirers giving performances in Ireland and the United Kingdom in June, he suggested that in July, performances in Edinburgh would be his last rock and roll shows. Indicating that he's ready to slow down and examine the new avenues complex for music. The private life of Rod Stewart. Life is as diverse and vivid as his. Having experienced 3 marriages and a variety of other relationships. Stewart is the father of 8 kids with 5 distinct females negotiating the intricacies of blended family dynamics and public examination in an eye-opening. He shared an interview with Rolling Stone that these encounters have influenced him into a more thoughtful and patient partner. He underlined the significance of avoiding going to bed upset and maintaining dialogues. Reveal a technique he remains in his present union with. He married Penny Lancaster in 2007. According to Stewart, he is incurably romantic, peaceful, lighted, and cherished. Meals with Lancaster following their children are sleeping, therefore the spark is maintained alive in their powerful. Rod Stewart's initial connection. Alana Hamilton and I got married in. He was 34 years old in 1979, and it lasted until. In a recent interview, 1984 said. A musician who is about 80 years old clarified. If he was informed by his father that too young at the moment to get married. Stewart acknowledged that his dad was. He was correct, telling People magazine when I informing my father that I was getting married, he was correct when he remarked, "You're too young." I had. There was a lot of partying going on back then. Even though Stewart believed he was drinking. Prepared when reality showed. Otherwise, the marriage broke down in part. Separated as a result of Stewart's partying ways. It led to friction and disagreement inside. The family had 2 kids. Kimberly and Sean Stewart together. Following his separation from Alana Stewart. A sustained partnership with the model. He and Kelly Berg had a daughter together. Named Ruby Stewart, despite the fact that they never married, their partnership encountered numerous difficulties and came to an end after 7 years. Stewart married a second time to supermodel Rachel Hunter started working in 1990, when she was only 21 and he was 45. The duration of their marriage was 9 years. Prior to their separation at that time, Rod stated in a newspaper, "When I wed Rachel, I very much believed she was the one, but I was incorrect in spite of their considerable age distinction." They had 2 kids, Renee and Liam Stewart. In this union as well had a lot of ups and downs and finally came to an end after over 10 years of separation. Stewart is presently contentedly wed to Penny, his third marriage. Lancaster, with whom he wed in 2007. Have 2 sons, Aidan and Alastair Stewart, following Alana's divorce. Stewart was in a relationship for a long time. He had a relationship with model Kelly M. Berg. Ruby Stewart, a daughter, even if their relationship never ended in marriage. Encountered numerous obstacles and concluded after 7. Stewart's second marriage lasted for years. Supermodel Rachel Hunter started working in 1990, when she was only 21 and he was 45. 9 years were spent in this marriage before they split up. At the moment, Rod said a newspaper after getting married to Rachel, I was mistaken to believe she was the one. Despite the fact that they are significantly different in age. Renee and Liam were the 2 children they had. Stewart, their marriage has also been through numerous peaks and valleys before coming to a conclusion. Following almost 10 years of separation. At the moment, Stewart is contentedly married to Penny Lancaster, his third wife, whom they were married in 2007 and have 2 boys, Alice and additionally, Aidan Stewart. Sean has numerous legal issues, one significant. The event took place in 2007 while he was taken into custody for attacking a man outside a. Sean was charged during the Los Angeles celebration and afterwards took part in anger management initiatives to deal with the problem. In addition, he completed a 90-day prison term for violence that occurs outside of Malibu Eatery, where actor Dean Cain stepped in and dialed 911. Sean also experienced a notable occurrence at Miami International Airport, where he climbed on the carousel of suitcases and produced a disruption that led to a fine. Sean Stewart has been on a number of reality television programs featuring the sons of celebrity and Hollywood Rehab with Dr. These shows emphasized Drew's personal problems and offered wisdom into his struggle with substance abuse and other Sean Stewart's issues in 2019, and his Rod Stewart, the father, was charged with attacking a Florida security guard. The event happened at the hotel on the eve of the year. The father and son had an argument with the security officer regarding admission to a private function. As the dispute intensified, Rod Stewart strikes the guard's chest. The media took notice of this episode. That generated a lot of debate between both fathers and son. Had to go to court to deal with charges of assault. Rod Stewart's daughter being left behind on. Rod Stewart's life may appear to be flawless, yet behind the scenes is a tragic tale involving his firstborn, Sarah Strayer, daughter, looking at a photo of Rod Stewart announcing with pride his Alastair Wallace's newborn son brought. Alastair brought tears to Sarah Streeter's eyes. Rod's 6th child with Penny Lancaster appeared to eclipse the Sarah's existence was born in. Rod Stewart has not included Sarah in 1963's his life without bringing her up. At 42, she had only publicly met him a few times, Sarah revealed. My dad purposefully forgets how many he has kids, and this saddens me. Have children as well, but I've never been able to see them again. She also knew she would never get to meet her baby. The rock superstar's half-brother left Sarah a few days after she was. When she was born, she just learned who her father was. Was her 18th birthday, and ever since then, she attempted to get in touch with Rod and H to construct a healthy relationship. She was heartbroken. He stated that he didn't want her in. Rod once remarked in his life, anyone who desires, I can count her as one of my children. Rod Stewart initially, yet, I don't like it. Met Susanna Beaufy, Sarah's mother, when he was 18, and they were in love for a year till Susanna became pregnant at the age of 17. Rod said he wasn't prepared for a Susanna gave birth to her friend's child. Rod Stewart had to be dragged to the hospital. Outside the delivery room, he complained, berating himself for what I did after that he didn't ever go see his daughter. It was questioned whether Sarah Strayer was Rod, the child of Stewart, who inherited his Susanna's characteristic hooked nose and eyes. Spent 7 months trying to raise her daughter. Prior to putting the youngster in a Sarah was adopted from hospice when she was 4 years old. By Gerald and Evelyn, she remembers. When she first discovered her father was Rod Stewart, and I was taken aback. Couldn't accept that it was real, so I chose to locate him, but now I wish I had no idea who my father was. Was Sarah's initial encounter with the well-known vocalist performed in 1982, organized by reporter Rod. Came with Alana Hamilton, his wife, and a lawyer, yet he wouldn't give her a hug. Few times following that, but Sarah understood that she would never create a lasting connection to her birth father. Sarah was lucky to have 6 half-siblings. To live a luxurious lifestyle as the offspring of a $100 million superstar. Sarah had to send $1 million for her wedding invitation 3 months prior to her father's her wedding, but all she was given on her big day consisted of a card and a bouquet of lies. Signed with a $5,000 and by Rod and Penny. Rod Stewart's hero's gift voucher. The secretary said he would give her a call. Sarah carried Sarah on her wedding day. All day on the phone with her, waiting in vain. Rod gave her a gift voucher, but she never used it. Her the latest exchange between. In June 2005, Sarah and her father were. Rod Stewart asked her to start the call about her family life and extended an invitation to bringing her to one of his shows at England's Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire. To get to know her siblings, but she was prohibited from backstage since she lacked a pass. As soon as the steward identified the boss daughter and let her entry, Rod had previously. These tales expose the darker an aspect of Rod Stewart's private life, illustrating the intricacies and challenges in his family connections, even though he has attempts to keep up connections with the hurt and absence of his children, made Sarah Strayer's legacy permanent. Rod Stewart has had a wound in her life. A number of noteworthy disputes throughout his career, in particular, in relation to his musical choices and options for performances. In 1978, he published You Think I'm Sexy from the song Blondes on albums Enjoy, indicating a changed to disco in his musical style. The song became a huge hit very soon, however. Has generated a lot of discussion among fans and critics believed Stewart had deserted his folk and rock heritage in support of commercial trends that are losing the he was genuine and creative previously displayed in his work. In reference to this matter, Stewart once said, "That Dia finds me attractive was an experiment that reflects current musical tendencies." At the moment he stated that he desired to investigate various musical styles and Stewart did not confine himself to a single style. Further highlighted that in spite of the controversies, the song expanded his audience and attained noteworthy commercial success. In addition to Stewart received harsh criticism for his choice to play in South Africa throughout the apartheid era was characterized by a harsh era's system of racial segregation. Many artists from abroad boycotted South Africa will demonstrate against Stewart's choice to oppose apartheid policies, perform there and get unfavorable feedback from several admirers and human rights groups that maintained that his actions that subtly reinforced the apartheid government and human rights. Stewart's rights values in this regard clarified that he had no intention of support apartheid, but he preferred to deliver his songs to all of his admirers. Stewart, regardless of where they resided, said that he had made an effort to make sure that his performances were non-discriminatory and accessible to everybody. But he acknowledged that this choice could have been misdirected and recognized the misconceptions and opposition from the general public and significant human rights organizations. Early life debates from the intricacies of his romantic marriages, family life, relationships, and the disputes that sparked public viewpoint. Let's go back to the early years of a legendary musician born on January 10. In North London in 1945, Rodri Stewart was the youngest of the 5 kids. Robert Joseph Stewart, an accomplished Scot. Elsie Rebecca, and an Edinburgh-based builder. Gilbert, an upper-class Englishwoman. The early years of Holloway Rod, with World War II as a backdrop in above his father's news, a tiny house. Archway Road agent shop as the Rod, the youngest, was loved and shielded in a household that wasn't rich or impoverished, and he frequently thought back on his a happy childhood. Despite Rod's academic success being, he had an uneventful tenure at Highgate, William Grimshaw, and elementary school. Contemporary school leaving no notable. Note his extracurricular pursuits first suggested a promising future. Rod model railroads captivated him, but his genuine love was football, and he was the best and most ardent Arsenal supporter. Finally become a football player in his family, serving as the middle center-back. Guy's Sex School squad. Additionally, football music has a unique place. Rod's family were ardent supporters throughout his life, of Al Halone frequently playing and singing his songs at home, which significantly. Regarding Rod's style of music, he was rock and roll was first introduced through the amazing performances by Little Haley, Richard, and his Comets at 15 years old, Stewart received his first. Swiftly joined a skiffle while playing a guitar outfit known as the Cool Cats, in which he started improving his musical abilities in spite of Stewart's early love of music. Sought a football career at first, going to the Brentford FC trials in the summer of But in 1960, when he didn't get a callback from the club, he was confronted with his life's important decision was conflicted between turning into a professional sportsman and Rod, a musician, selected music. Jokingly pointing up how appealing it is to be capable of creating music while intoxicated, these early years established the groundwork for Have you got a future music legend career? Have you ever pondered what changed about Rod Stewart transitioned from a paper boy to an international music star? His early years were plenty of odd tasks and musical investigations, from working in the household newspaper delivery service to stints at a burial home and Highgate Cemetery. Stewart was usually in North Finchley, looking for chances to investigate the world surrounding him, his rigorous investigation into. In 1961, he started playing music after attending Denmark Street will try out for a record. Joe Meek, the producer, even though the audition ended suddenly. Stewart is attracted to the folk music scene. Surrounded himself with Yan Sounds, Bob Diane and McCole Woody Guthrie. Embracing a beatnik way of life, including living momentarily in Shoreham on a houseboat by. Additionally, he actively participated in the nuclear disarmament campaign, taking part in marches and protests. At this time, Stewart started busking with folk musician Whiz Jones on the road.